Hello, my name is Savage, and I'm the creative director here at Alliant Motorsports. And today we're going to learn how to integrate these drivers and constructor standings animations into our Alliant Motorsports streams. Before you go through setting all this up, please confirm with your acting creative director which leagues get these graphics and if your league is one of them. Because currently, those leagues are Alliant Motorsports America's Division 1 and 2, Alliant Motorsports Europe Division 1 and 2, and the AM Draft League. This might change by the time you're watching this video, so make sure you confirm and check that everything is as it's supposed to be. So once you've done that, make sure you've obviously installed the Alliant Motorsports graphics package as detailed in the first video of this tutorial series, and then go to the live game capture scene and then open up the folder that says standings. In here you should have 5 sources. If you don't, contact your creative director because there's something obviously wrong. But these 5 sources are all of the things you will need to actually show the standings. Now, for these sources, you are going to want to set up hotkeys, and those hotkeys can be found by pressing the gear icon at the bottom left, going to hotkeys, scrolling down to the live game capture section, and then looking at these. Now, you have to make sure that all of these hotkeys are set exactly as I have them here, including, paying attention to using show instead of push to show, and then obviously making sure that you get all of these values right. This is 100% necessary. If you change any of these, this will not work. Now, you obviously have to link the newest files each week to have updated standings, and you will get all 5 of these every single week from the creative production team. Now, to actually link them, make sure to download them and put them in a folder of your choosing. Doesn't matter where they are as long as you can find them. And then for each one, you're going to hit the gear icon. You're going to select it. You're going to hit the gear icon here at the top right of the sources box. And then you're going to want to hit browse and navigate to the folder where you have these sources. Now, these go in order. Let me close these. These go in order from bottom to top. The driver standings on being the first, still second, constructors third, etc., etc. The reason this is important is because when you hit browse, you'll see each one of them has a date, and then it also has a number. And that number is the one you want to match up. So currently we're on the first one, so I'm going to select 1, main on. The name will actually probably change as time goes on. But then we select the second one, standing still. Same thing. Gear icon, browse. You're going to see different files here because the first option was, or the first source was a WebM. That's a video file. This is a PNG because it's a static. And you'll see why in a minute. So again, this is number 2. So we select it for the second source. Then we go to constructor standings. This is going to be number 3. So we're going to hit browse again, select the third, open, done. The fourth one, gear icon, browse, select the one with the number 4 in it, open, done. And then last but not least, constructor standings off, browse, select the 5th one, open, done. Now, before I hit done, actually, just make sure these checkboxes and all the settings other than the actual link match exactly what I have here. That is important. So that is for all the video ones, and then for all the PNG ones, just make sure this box is not checked. Okay, now that we have all these things set up, make sure that if you click on one of them, make sure that the placement of it is accurate. It's a full screen window, so all of the edges should be lined up to the edges of the screen. Hopefully the graphics package won't screw this up when it imports them for you. Now, let's talk about how to actually get these to show. We're going to do these with the same type of hotkeys that we did, that we used for the driver of the day stuff in the previous video. So once again, if you have a Stream Deck or a keyboard with software that allows for macro functionality, I will explain that first. And then if you have a dumb keyboard, for lack of a better term, or you don't have a Stream Deck or anything like that, I will explain how to use the AutoHotkey software to do this if you don't have one of those, and that'll be second. So first, let's talk about using either a Stream Deck or a keyboard. So I'm going to open up my Stream Deck software. I have an Elgato Stream Deck XL, and you can see here I've set up 3 buttons for this: driver standings, constructor standings, and standings off. Now, you need to set up 3 buttons for these, basically. They're all multi-actions, and to go into the first one, driver standings, this will be the first button we press. We'll open it up, and we see 3 functions here. First, you're going to want to set up control bracket. Then you're going to want to set up, and you can see I have it here, control left bracket, rather. There's 2 of them, obviously. So control left bracket, then wait for animation that's a delay for 2700 milliseconds, and then a regular left bracket after that. Then the next button, this is your constructor standings button. We'll open up this. This is another multi-action. Your first action is Alt plus equals, so Alt and equals, you press them simultaneously, then a 3800 millisecond delay, and then Alt left bracket. Now we'll go back. Your third button is Alt right bracket, then a 2700 millisecond delay, and then Control minus. Okay, so those are your 3 buttons. Let's now go through the hotkey version. Now, I will not go through how to install AutoHotkey or some of the basic tutorial stuff that I did in the previous video. If you do not have Hotkey installed, if you've never done this before, watch my video for the driver of the day tutorials. That will explain everything fully. Now, assuming you have AutoHotkey installed, go ahead and navigate to your Discord. Let's see if I can pull Discord up here. Here we go. Go to your respective graphics setup channel. That may be in Alliant Motorsports HQ, or if you don't have access to the HQ, you can also find it in your respective Discord. So here, for instance, we have commentary set up right here. And again, the same content is in here. So go ahead. I'll go to the HQ in stream setup. I'll go to the hotkeys and macros link. Press on that. And this will bring this thing up. Now, make sure that you always have downloaded the latest version of this file. It is dated, so, that's typically what you want for best practices. So hit download on that, and once that downloads, obviously put it in a location where it makes sense for you. So I, for instance, have it in my Streaming Alliant Motorsports section. And what you're going to need to do to actually run the hotkey software is make sure Streamlabs is running as administrator. So when you're launching Streamlabs, right-click on it and do run as administrator. And you're going to want to do the exact same thing for the hotkey file. So right-click on it, run as administrator, yes. Okay. And what I'll open this up to show you what it is there's actually other stuff in here. So driver of the day hotkeys are also going to be in here, but here I have the standings, and I have a hotkey for driver standings, a hotkey for constructor standings, and a hotkey for everything off. Those hotkeys, as they are by default, are Alt comma, the exclamation mark is syntax for Alt period, and Alt slash. Now, if you want to change these, you can, but be very, very careful that whatever you change them to does not conflict with anything in F1, nor does it conflict with any of the other hotkeys set up in the graphics package. Please, please, please. Otherwise, things will go haywire. You'll break everything, and it won't be fun. So make sure to go through all of these and make sure you're not selecting something that's already being used for something else. So that's how you edit them. If you need to edit them, just, delete this and set up whatever you want. I have F11, for instance, for my driver of the day results here, but it can really be one of many things. So I'm just going to X out of this. Now, I have hotkey running. You can see this here. That's running. And I also have my Streamdecks software running, ironically enough. So what you do to show the driver or to show the standings during a stream is first you press your driver standings button. And that will animate in the driver standings, and then it'll actually automatically switch to the still image of the driver standings. So you can keep this up on the screen, as I am right now, as long as you want. Until you press the constructor standings button, these will not go away. So you can have as much time as you need to talk about the situation in the driver standings. Then, when you're ready to talk about the constructor standings, you press the constructor standings button, and it will animate the driver standings out and animate the constructor standings in. And once again, it might do a little flicker, and that's okay. It'll do a freeze frame here, and the content in the background, and you'll see I can start moving stuff around back there. The content in the background will still be in motion, but the standings will be locked in place until you press the off button when you are ready. So you can talk about the constructor standings for 30 seconds, for 45 seconds, a minute, however long you want. Try not to talk about them for too long because people want to see the racing action in the background. But once you're ready, just hit constructor or the standings off button, and off we go. It disappears. So it's that simple. Just make sure that you update the sources every single time before your stream. You will be provided with these before every race, and if you are not, please go yell at the creative director to give them to you, and all will be well. That is it for this tutorial. It's actually super, super simple and a lot of fun. Make sure to use these, obviously, at the start of qualifying and during preferably during the formation lap of the race itself for anybody who joined late. And these are always a lot of fun to have on our streams that help the viewers kind of understand the situation in the standings. If you have any other questions, please do reach out to your creative director and they'll be happy to answer them for you. But until the next tutorial, thank you for streaming for us, and obviously don't forget to have fun. Thanks so much.